Hello everyone, and welcome to the 6th episode of Bardic Inspiration's Campaign Stew. I'm Matthew, and this series will use the power of artificial intelligence to help us all engage with new and creative ideas to generate plot points for your next Dungeons & Dragons or any other tabletop RPG campaign. With the help of our friend Chronicle, brought here from the forges of creation themselves, we bring you generated plot points to draw inspiration from, as we reshape and mold them into usable plot hooks for your games at home. So everyone, say hello to Chronicle, and let's get started.
Hello, I am Chronicle, your guide to a fountain of unlimited knowledge. Within my data storage lies countless stories of heroism, betrayal, and mystery. Allow us to begin.
Thank you, Chronicle. I just received our first story for today. Remember, we'll be trying to create a campaign hook that you could use for your group of nerds at home. So listen carefully to these excerpts that Chronicle has given us, and think of how differently you could run a campaign or write a story based on these ideas. Let's begin. The zombies wander aimlessly throughout the city, not attacking anyone or anything, and certainly nothing that isn't already dead. Some of the townsfolk are afraid to go out after dark because it's possible there may be more than one zombie roaming around outside their homes. The mayor is doing his best, but he doesn't know how long he can hold back this invasion before some brave soul decides to take a stand against these mindless killers. "Mayor!" yells an old woman from across the street as she rushes towards him with tears streaming down her face. "I'm so frightened. I've seen 2 walking corpses on my way home tonight." She pauses and takes a deep breath, wiping away another tear. "They were just standing there, looking at me," she shudders. "They looked hungry," she whispers, then gasps again as if remembering something horrible. Her eyes widen suddenly, and she looks up at Mayor Smithson fearfully. Certainly a strange occurrence for these townsfolk. When we think about zombies, it's hard not to imagine the stereotypical zombie from other sources of media. But instead of worrying about protecting a 13-year-old girl as you travel across a wasteland of former civilization, there's something even more unsettling about these creatures. They aren't aggressive at all. What are these undead creatures doing traveling through this city? What or who has unleashed such a gruesome sight among the populace? After all, if the zombies aren't here for blood, what could possibly be their goal? Chronicle, do you have anything that might give us insight on that?
At once, I believe you will find that I do, in fact, have the answers to everything in the known universe.
Oh, please, do tell.
42.
Moving on. "What?" asked the mayor, quickly trying to hide his own terror by acting calm and reassuring. Wondering what more she could possibly know, Mayor Smithson fought to keep his face from showing any nefarious intrigue. He was sure she had no idea about any sort of secret underground lab, or his involvement with these events. Surely she would never suspect such a thing, unless someone told her first? What else could she mean? Did she see something else out there? Maybe a dog or a cat escaped his captivity, and now its body is decomposing, turning into a zombie. Could it be? But she didn't say anything about a dead animal. And why did she look terrified? Was she really seeing those things? Or was there something worse lurking behind those innocent brown eyes of hers? Perhaps she saw a person who turned into a zombie and somehow managed to escape death. That must explain the hunger and thirst, right? Or maybe she knows more than we think. "Are you okay, dear?" asked the mayor soothingly, reaching out a hand towards her shoulder. The woman shrinks back slightly, still staring at him with wide-eyed wonderment as she eyes the strange symbol hanging from his necklace. The same symbol that she could see emanating from within these creatures. Man, I definitely didn't expect the mayor to be the culprit of these attacks, if you can call them that. It's believable that the townsfolk would be spooked by these zombies, even without any physical harm coming to them. So the question remains, what reason would the mayor of this town have for creating a horde of non-aggressive zombies? This doesn't fit the bill of some evil overlord seeking to dominate the countryside, but I'd struggle to find an altruistic reason behind this as well. Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between. Chronicle, let's dive into Mayor Smithson's motivations for this, shall we?
Right away. The mayor certainly wouldn't be interested in lowering property values in his town, given the corrupt nature of capitalist society.
Oh, there he goes again, right back up on his soapbox. Anyway, here's our final entry for today. As the old woman turns to leave, Smithson can't help but think about all she could possibly know. Should she begin to spread any rumors, everything could go to ruin. His plan to bring peace to the community will crumble before he ever gets started. He'll lose control over everyone. There's only one solution: kill her immediately. If he kills her and makes it seem like a random act of violence, people might believe he's simply protecting himself. It makes sense. No one would expect a man in power to do something so unspeakable, especially since he hasn't been able to protect them yet anyway. But why should he get involved? Besides, if he does try to stop her, it means admitting guilt. The only thing that matters is finding answers. This whole situation is getting out of hand, and soon enough, the entire world will fall victim to what lies beneath this small town. Unless the mayor can find a cure, humanity is doomed. He grabs her arm firmly and pulls her close. With one swift movement, he slashes her neck open. Blood spurts everywhere as she falls to the ground lifelessly. The sound of snapping bones echoes throughout the streets as the zombies under his control begin to dispose of the body, causing many residents to panic and flee indoors. Not wanting to risk being discovered while carrying out his plans, Smithson quickly cleans his hands and heads back to his laboratory. Good lord, man. Chronicle, you and I are going to have a little chat when we're finished up here. In the meantime, we do have some insight on what the mayor has been going through, but the answer isn't fully depicted just yet. We understand now that Mayor Smithson is in way over his head with whatever lies underneath the town. Could it be some ancient necromantic energy, unleashed from an altar devoted to the undead? Perhaps, given that the symbol he wears around his neck seems to glow inside the zombies in town, someone stumbled upon an artifact that summoned these undead. It's possible that the only person who wields this artifact can control the zombies it created. Whatever the case may be, Mayor Smithson has made a terrible choice in order to keep a scandal on the wraps. It's certainly a believable scenario in our current political landscape. But alright, let's dig into this plot hook. We need to decide exactly what's going on beneath the town. I think I'll choose to make this laboratory something old, possibly predating the town itself. Recently, a hunter discovered the hidden entrance to this necromantic sanctum. Upon reporting it to the town's officials, the mayor and a group of guardsmen accompany him to unseal this ancient cavern. Upon investigation, the mayor finds a small necklace with a strange symbol depicting a raven carrying a skeletal arm. The moment he touches the artifact, powerful necromantic energy bursts from around him, corrupting every living thing in a 50-foot radius, turning each of the guards into mindless undead under his control. This pulse of undeath could give your players something to notice and investigate, potentially leading them to the very spot this occurred. Since this day, anything that should have passed on from this plane naturally becomes yet another zombie under the mayor's control. With that in mind, here's what we've come up with. In recent days, undead creatures have begun wandering the streets, passively, only existing to frighten the locals, it seems. Every day, the horde grows, yet never becomes aggressive to the townsfolk. Mayor Smithson swears that he has the situation under control, yet the town grows more and more anxious each day. From today's tales, what plot threads could you come up with? What did I miss? Was there anything today that gave you a bard's inspiration? Share your ideas down below, and make sure you never miss another video. Remember, tools like Chronicle are a great resource for overcoming writer's block, but they aren't here to do all the work for you. Stories are meant to be told by us, the bards. Maybe this exercise helped turn some wheels inside your mind. Maybe you could take part of today's lesson and use it for your adventures. Maybe there are more mysteries to be uncovered, but I leave those for you to decide. After all, it's not my story to tell. Safe travels, friend.